I've already hung my bear bag. Of course, I wouldn't be sharing any of my food with wildlife anyhow. You don't do that, but apparently they're accustomed to people camping up here, and I suppose some people unknowingly or knowingly feed the wildlife, and that's just something that you shouldn't do, and I don't ever do. So anyway, obviously she's not very afraid of me, that's for sure. So, well, there's a shot of Pecos Baldy Lake, sitting right below Pecos Baldy Peak, and there's my little friend again. But wilderness rules, they won't allow you to camp down in the basin within, I think it's 200 feet of the lake, which is fine. Actually, there's quite a few people here, and I say quite a few. There's probably 6, 7, 8 people total that are camping in the vicinity of this lake right now. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's quite a few campgrounds just above the basin over there in that tree line, and they're very nice. There's some level grassy areas and established fire pits, and I think the Boy Scouts camp there when they come up here. But last time I was up here, I camped in that tree line right over there, because that's going north towards Truchas. But I didn't want to get close to those folks down there, so I came up on this side. I'm a little bit higher up. I'm a little bit more exposed, but my tent's set up there, and it's in a solid place. And I've got my Ursack bear-proof bag. It's not hung up in the tree, but it's probably about 50 yards secured to a tree over there. So this is my first time to use that bear-proof bag. So I don't think a bear is going to get in it, but if they find it, they may end up crushing it. That's what I've heard has happened before. But I've got a nice campsite. I'm not sure you can see, the skies are dark. And back to, that's going to be to the east, or still bright, I suppose, from the openings in the crowd, but in the clouds. But I'm getting ready to retire for the evening. Okay, this is going to be a wrap on day one. 11-hour drive from Plano to Jacks Creek Campground, north of Pecos, New Mexico. 7.1 miles today, probably about 3,000 feet worth of elevation gain. I'm at 11.2 right now, so the long drive, the 5-hour hike getting up here wore me out, so I'm getting ready to hit the sack. I'm going to take it easy tomorrow and try to recoup before I make my attempt on Truchas Wednesday morning. So all's good. I'll check in tomorrow morning. Good night. Okay, headed up Pecos Baldy towards the peak. Just want to say I started yesterday way off there, and I believe that's Round Mountain right there. I hiked right past it on the other side of this mountain through that deadfall over there, and the lake is right over there. that's okay. Lots of carbs in this pasta. That's what I really need on a trip like this. So I'm getting ready to turn the fire off, cover it, let it sit maybe 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna chow down. Take a moment and talk about some of the gear I bring on the trail that has really worked for me well. You just saw me cook my dinner. I want to talk about my cook set. This is an Optimus Crux Weekender. This is it's a treated aluminum. I don't know, it's not as light as titanium obviously, but for a solo backpacker like myself, it really serves the purpose. It holds 800 milliliters or 24 ounces. Most of the meals I cook take about 16 ounces of water, 2 cups. Most of my dinners that's going to suit it pretty well in a cup of coffee. But the thing that I really like about it and why I keep using it is because it's got this heat exchanger on the bottom, which helps the water boil that much faster than if it was just a straight pot. And so I can boil 2 cups of water in about 1.5 minutes with this, and that saves on fuel. It came with a stove. This is referred to as the Optimus Crux, and it's a ultralight stove that again has worked well for me, and folds away, stores right in my pot, and gosh, it's worked great, particularly with this. I seem to prefer MSR ISOPRO fuel. Now normally on a trip like this I would bring the smaller canister, which is a 4-ounce canister, but I had this canister left over from another trip, and it was about 3/4 full. So this is the larger 8-ounce canister, and this burns well. I might add that boiling that water in 1.5 minutes really depends on the temperature of the water. It depends upon the elevation. It depends upon factors such as that, the outside temperature and such as that. But typically about 1.5 minutes. That's certainly what it did in this environment. The other thing I'm going to show you that is a vital piece of equipment that I've been using for a couple of years now is the Garmin InReach Explorer. And this is an integrated GPS personal communicating device. I can route out my trips from my desktop at home, transfer it into here. I can have Google imagery maps, I can have topographical maps, and I can put waypoints in. It really helps me navigate. But the most significant thing about it really is that this device serves as a peace of mind piece of equipment, because not only does it have a SOS function that I can, with the touch of a button, send out a signal to a satellite that is monitored 24/7 and say that I need help. And the reason I bring that up is because I'll show pictures later of a helicopter that was actually circling right above us. But it also allows me to, through text messaging via the satellite, communicate to home. So I can let my wife know that I'm fine, this is where I'm camping, everything's good. I can check in the morning, good morning. And not only can I send messages out to give her the peace of mind that all is well, I can receive. And you know, when you're solo, that comes in handy. And I don't know, I'm starting to choke up a little bit because I really miss my companion Andy that would typically be on this trip with me, but that's another story. But anyway, this piece of equipment I recommend highly. And then what I bring now is I just bring a 10,000 milliamp or milliamp hour, whatever that term is, to keep a charge on my phone, to keep a charge on my camera, to keep a charge on my inReach. So if I'm going to be extended, I have a solar panel, but this works pretty good. So anyway, this is the end of day 2, and I'm getting ready to pack things up and get ready, because tomorrow morning I'm going to get up real early, no coffee, no cooked breakfast. I'm going to hit the trail before sunup, because I've got about 6 miles to the top of Truchas, and that's my goal. I want to get an early start, because there was lightning today right here right around noon, and so I want to get up there. I'm thinking 3.5 hours to get up there, 2.5 to get down, and so I'm going to try to be on the trail at 5:30. So I'll check in tomorrow. Good night. Well, I'm just on a saddle right now, kind of on the Trail Riders Ridge. I still gotta climb this, and then I'll be at the base of Truchas. But I mean, this wind is something else. So I wanted adventure. This is adventure. Well, I really don't know if my camera can depict just how steep this scree or boulder field is going up. But you know, carrying my hiking stick in this camera, the stick comes in handy, but sometimes I'd rather have my hands to grab onto something. But I still got to go. I still got to go up there. So we're gonna keep. One thing for sure, I'm on a literal mountain goat trail. There's not much, and you can see how steep it is. Lots of loose rock. So caution is the term. I wasn't for certain. But yeah, my GPS says I'm at the top. I was thinking it was because that's success. Now I don't want to get too close to the edge because I don't want to get blown off. But here's a 360 panorama. Of course, I started way over there. That's the Trail Riders Ridge that I negotiated. And I was right on about my time schedule. It was probably about 3 hours and 20 minutes. I was thinking 3.5. So, and the skies are still clear, so I'm gonna relish it for a few minutes.